Hey, this is Brad here with BGS, and in this video, we're talking about mistakes newbies make, part 3 of my multi-part series, and we're talking about what I call lazy drop shipping and POD. That applies too. Okay, so I belong to a lot of different Facebook e-commerce groups. A lot of them are like mastermind level groups, but I'm also in some that have a lot of beginners, and a lot of posts that I see from different members in these groups are, I just launched my site, I'm not getting any sales, what's wrong with it? And then you click and you look and you see that they're drop shipping, which most newbies start off drop shipping because it's so easy and it's low cost. And you look at them and they are lazy drop shippers. And what I mean by that is that they import the product without changing the title in some cases, and in a lot of cases they don't change the description. So they leave them to it's usually Aliexpress, whatever the defaults are, and sometimes even with POD because they do the same. Okay, so instead of using the default descriptions that are imported, you need to delete them and rewrite them in your own words, speaking in the voice of your customer to your customer. Okay, so that's really important because with Aliexpress, the titles are stuffed with a ton of keywords. You might have a product title that's 25 words long. I mean, it can get like really, really crazy. And there'll be keywords and there'll be like even things that are like really not related to the product at all. So you need to just delete the Aliexpress title and then just name it, whatever it is. Just a clear name that gives the most clarity for the customer. And typically that will have the most important keyword in it, because whatever the title is probably what they're searching for anyway. And a lot of people do change that, but what I see all the time is they leave the default Aliexpress descriptions or the POD provider descriptions. Okay, and typically they're just bullet points of specs. You know, with POD, it's going to be like the shirt type, like 100% pre-shrunk cotton, which you do need that, but it'll have like other things like ring spun cotton and just all this other stuff that customers don't care about. And really, when you get to Aliexpress, it could have like 30 bullet points with maybe only 5 really bullets that customers care about. The rest is like stuff like maybe genre or SKU numbers, and just things like that are totally not related, that customer really doesn't care about. So what you need to do is just totally delete that, create your own unique product descriptions, use whatever Aliexpress or whatever your drop shipper has that's important to the customer. But otherwise, you need to enroll the customer in why they need your product. You've got your branding and everything going on too. So write your own unique descriptions. That's also going to help with SEO. Okay, so Google and the search algorithm, they like unique product descriptions. They don't like you just copying someone else's. Okay, so that's going to help you out as well. Okay, again, POD the same way. Make sure that you change the title, right? It's common sense, but sometimes you see it. You don't want to have like Hanes heavy cotton t-shirt. You make your own title and again, create your own unique descriptions. Now, the other thing I see is in the back end of the product. So let's look at that, especially Oberlo has a big problem with this. And I noticed this a lot when, back in the day when I would sell something and I go to fulfill it and it will say like variant is no longer available or quantity is not available or something like that. And I can't do it. And it's because of the Oberlo default settings. So let's look at that real quick. Okay, so I'm in Oberlo and I'm choosing Oberlo because that and Dropify are going to be the top 2 dropshipping apps, especially if you're a beginner. And again, the key is you use dropshipping for testing. And there's also a lot of American companies too. But typically starting off, you might want to start with Oberlo or Dropify. Test different products. And then when you find like great products, then you can look at other alternatives where you can fulfill it a lot faster for your customer. Okay, but in Oberlo, if you go down to the bottom left, it says settings. Okay, so what you need to do is once you're in settings, you scroll down to where it says auto updates. And by default, at least when I installed Oberlo, and this may have changed, but it's something to check anyway, is by default, everything is like do nothing for auto updates, which is just so counterintuitive because one of the reasons why you want to have Oberlo instead of just importing the products into your store, but also to auto update and to sync your products. Okay, so auto updates make sure when a product is no longer available, don't have it do nothing. Okay, you don't want to sell a product that's no longer available. You want to either unpublish it or set quantity to 0. Okay, when a variant is no longer available, you can either remove the variant. I would have set quantity to 0 because if it's a size or a color, something like that, they may get that color or size back in stock, and then it can reset the quantities. When the cost changes, that's something I have do nothing but to notify me. I want to be totally in control of it. A lot of times the changes might be in pennies, but I want to be notified. And if there is a big jump in the price, then I want to go in and update it myself. But I want to know and not have the app keep changing the price for me. And then another big one, when inventory changes, update automatically. Don't just do nothing. Okay, so those are some settings that just go back and look in it. I'm sure Dropify has the same thing. I would hope that Dropify would have defaults where it will actually auto update and auto sync, but just go back and check. Okay, and that's really the second part. So with your lazy drop shipping, you have it on the front end with not changing your quantities, or not quantities, but not changing your product title or descriptions and just leaving them at whatever the default is imported. And also kind of on the back end, you want to make sure that your settings are correct. That is like auto updating and syncing and all that with your store. Okay, just to recap, again, a real common mistake that newbies make is being lazy drop shippers or PODers. Okay, so again, make sure that you create your own product titles that are unique. Make sure you create your own descriptions, and just don't import and do nothing with either these POD products or these Aliexpress products. Create your own titles and descriptions. So if you enjoy this video, make sure you like, comment, share, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you'd like to build, grow, or scale your business, just go to www.workwithbgs.com and we can help you build, grow, and scale. And that's it. So I'll see you in the next video.